Welcome back. Thanks again for joining us. Now, as is custom, yesterday, Parliament held its first day of the post-State of the Nation Address debate to discuss some of the issues that were raised during the State of the Nation Address last week. The session will continue today, and tomorrow, President Jacob Zuma will give his response to those issues that were raised. Now, joining us from our Cape Town studios is one of our journalists, Lukhanyo Calata, who has been keeping a close watch on proceedings. Lukhanyo, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Another, shall we say, eventful day in Parliament. Tell us about it.
Ayanda, good morning. Yes, it seems that's what we do in Parliament these days when you consider what happened last week and, of course, what happened yesterday. Well, yesterday, to a very large extent, normal service resumed in Parliament, where you had the political parties, especially the opposition parties, debating the President's State of the Nation address. There were a few issues here and there. The session started off with opposition parties bemoaning the fact that the minutes of the State of the Nation address had been altered. But then Thandi Modise, the chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, who was chairing the session yesterday, she promised that, look, everything will be put right and she will come back to the House today with minutes that do reflect what had actually taken place before President Jacob Zuma had delivered his State of the Nation address last Thursday. Once that settled down, I think like 30 minutes into the session, the debate could then actually begin in earnest. And it was started off by the Minister of Arts and Culture, Nathi Mthethwa, who had quite a reconciliatory tone in his speech. But unfortunately, opposition parties such as the Democratic Alliance, the EFF, they weren't in a reconciliatory mood, and obviously they kind of criticized both President Jacob Zuma as a person, as well as the speech that he delivered last week Thursday. Ayanda.
And of course, sparks flew over and above comments of insects and the use of the word cease at some stage. There was ultimately some moments where substance emerged and issues of national importance were raised. Eskom's monopoly, one of those issues that were tackled. The issue of ownership of land by foreigners, another thing that came to the fore there. What other key themes were raised over and above, shall we say, some of the sparks that flew?
And I think we have to just slightly track back and keep it with the issue of Eskom. I think that's an issue that was quite critical in the President's address last week, basically saying that the government will spend something close on to 23 billion rand in trying to fix the current energy situation that South Africa is faced with. And obviously yesterday it was going to take center stage, as it rightly should. And it did. The opposition parties feeling that a lot could be done to try to resolve the crisis. I think it was Musi Maimane who said that since 2008, South Africa has lost close on to 300 billion rand because of the issues with electricity in South Africa. And obviously, for the EFF, the issue of land is quite crucial, because the EFF believes, that we should get to a point in South Africa where land is expropriated without compensation. And I think they will always use any opportunity that they get to raise this view, because it is, of course, something that they campaigned on. And we heard from other smaller parties, such as the APC, for instance, with Themba Godi, who also saying that, look, a lot still needs to be done in education in South Africa. I think that's one aspect that will get, over the course of this year, that will get as much attention as the issue with energy.
NCOP Chair Thandi Modise presiding over proceedings initially there. The National Assembly Speaker Balagambete, she was absent. Any reason for that? Is it part of procedure, or is there more to this?
And I I think it would be wrong for us to speculate because we don't actually know why she wasn't there. It's certainly not necessary. It's certainly not part of procedure because as the Speaker of the National Assembly, when basically the very first sitting of the National Assembly of the year, we were expecting that the Speaker would be there. You know, we weren't given any notice either in the press conference that we had with the presiding officer slightly earlier in the day that she wouldn't be there. You know, we suspect obviously that they had thought that maybe it's better if the NCOP chairperson Thandi Modise goes and presides over the session, obviously kind of fearing a backlash from the EFF based on what the Speaker had said over the weekend about EFF leader Julius Malema.
We'll have to leave it there. Lukhanyo, thank you once again for your time. And of course, that debate continues today. So I have a feeling we'll be chatting to Lukhanyo again in no time. President Jacob Zuma expected to give his response to the debates and the issues raised then on Thursday.